Well, first responders say the car was driving along Riceboro Road, ran off into this driveway, and then over here, if you'll follow me, to this ditch. It's starting to whip up again. This is, literally going in circles, and you're going to see cars try to float underneath it. The investigators here have labeled all the gunshots here that are riddled across the front of this home. Jasmine Timmons and her husband were actually set to be in court today to discuss who's going to get custody of their two youngest children. North Augusta High School has one. Every classroom in Richmond, Columbia, and Aiken County has one too. But there is a deputy blocking this driveway, so we're not able to take you all the way back there. Here's a really bad example of this right here. You can see the top half of this power pole is just completely clipped. Here's something that I want to show you. Come down here with me, and I want to show you what some of these colors that mark here mean. And they've now packed the ground down with this gravel. Walk this way with me. Just a few yards away, piles of trash. Why couldn't we get with certainty the last day she was present at school?
Right, so at Josie, we had a school record-keeping error.
Well, you know what? Tiger's the champ. Look, if this leads to, the best comeback in sports history, I will eat at Arby's every day. On Rolling Meadow Drive, sand covers the blood from where neighbors say they found 15-year-old Alfonso Hornsby dead in the middle of the road after several rounds of gunfire the night before.
I heard at least 8, 9, 10 of them. I should see a body on the ground, a lot of people outside.
More disturbing than the gunfire were the cries from Hornsby's mother while investigators worked through the night.
That kind of touched me a little when I saw his moms come out, It was just sad.
Less than 6 hours later, neighbors say another round of gunfire ran out not even a block away on Meadowbrook Drive.
4 children in the residence at this time.
More than a dozen bullets made their way through the living room wall of Ernest Stallings' home.
I feel disgusted right now. I'm so upset.
Where he says his wife and kids, all under the age of 9, were sleeping. He says his wife was the only person hit and is now in the hospital.
The bullet went through her chest and came out her back, and it pierced her lung.
The grandmother of the 4 children is thankful her family is alive, but shaken at the spree of violence happening over less than 12 hours.
No one could feel the way I felt when I knew that none of them had gotten hurt. Because to know that she got shot in her chest, and my oldest one, he comes to right about her chest.
After days on the run,
I'm ready to get this shit over with.
In a small interview room in St. Johns County, Florida.
No rights, I already know him. I have a right to remain silent.
Stephen Murray confesses to killing Father Rene Robert.
I'm running 100 miles an hour. I'm going to tell y'all everything y'all need to know. Okay. Confession, everything.
He's fuzzy on the dates, but the story starts at a drug house in Jacksonville, Florida, where Murray says he bought weed, crack, and met up with Father Robert.
I picked him up after I got back from the dope trap down off 90. And we went up to South Carolina against his will.
What do you mean by that?
Against his will means he didn't have a choice. I was just ready to die, and I really wanted to see my kids before I died, and I know that it was coming soon.
Murray says his kid's grandfather in Aiken wouldn't allow him to see his kids, a boiling point for Murray and Robert.
When I put him in the trunk, he just changed up his whole demeanor. I robbed a couple houses up there, and
while he was in the trunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a load of guns. By that time, Father Rene was saying that I was in great trouble, I wasn't gonna be able to get out of this, and everything hit me, and just wigged out, and I killed him.
Murray admits to killing Father Rene Robert in a wooded area in Georgia.
Shot him in the chest one time and the head, and then he fell, and I shot him in the head.
Murray says Father Robert never saw the gun. His back was turned when he pulled the trigger.
Cried for days on end, I didn't stop crying, because I know that I have up and I couldn't take none of it back.
Tim Hollibaugh will go through extreme lengths to make a point.
Bus stop only on one side leaves you in traffic.
What's the point of pushing his wheelchair across Wrightsboro Road traffic in the middle of the day? To show you what some disabled voters went through during Tuesday's midterm election to get from this bus stop.
Now the question is, where do you go from here?
Across the street.
Got to be extremely strong to press this type of a curve and hill.
And up the hill to go vote at their polling location. Americans with Disabilities Act checklist for polling places says there must be an accessible route from public transportation spots to get to the entrance of the public voting facility. Tim says he's been asking the city to take a look at this for years.
Number one, it makes you angry.
We took his concerns straight to the ADA compliance officer for Augusta Richmond County, Carol Burlbridge.
So there is a challenge there, and we've recognized that, and we are diligently working to find some solutions for that.
But she says those ADA guidelines don't actually require a sidewalk there.
If you look at that checklist, there's just that one thing that says bus stops, right? So it's just that one piece that says if you got a bus stop, you have to have an accessible bus stop and a path from the path from the bus stop to the polling place needs to be accessible. And that's something we are looking at. We just haven't looked at, been able to, look at every bus stop near every polling place at this point.
In hindsight, with this being such an influential ballot with commission seats up, mayor seats up, big straw poll questions that are going to influence policy in our county, do you guys wish that you may have acted differently ahead of the election? Yesterday.
There just wasn't time.
No time, according to the ADA officer, but Christenberry is not a new polling place.
Hopefully by November, we will have solutions and workarounds for the citizens who rely on buses to get to the polling places.